If you're in school for cybersecurity or looking to start school for something cybersecurity related, this video is really going to open up your eyes because I can assure you that the experience that I had with this totally caught me by surprise and honestly just blew me away. Today, we're going to talk about CPTC, which is the Collegiate Penetration Testing Competition, and this is a global competition across the world, because I said global, so clearly it goes across the world, but more so, I can speak to this from a national level where I got to experience this firsthand. As I started this video, I said whether you're in school for cybersecurity or looking to start school for cybersecurity, this competition right here changes everything. This is like something I have never ever seen before when it comes to learning cybersecurity, and more so learning practical hands-on skills that actually matter and make a difference. If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Zach Hill. I've been doing this for the past 10 years, just helping people find their journey, find their way within IT. If you're familiar with any of the videos that I've done in the last 10 years, you've heard what I've had to say about college and learning IT and certifications and all the different thoughts and feelings about how they actually relate to being successful in this field. Now, just so you know, just to clear this up, there is no one or two or three or four or five set paths to find your way into IT. College, it's not necessary. It's helpful, but it's not necessary. Certifications, they're helpful, but they aren't necessary either. These are helpful tools that you can utilize to help foot your path into this field and make it a little bit easier, but they are by no means required. And now with this video today, I really feel like I have to change my thoughts about college and school because again, this competition, CPTC, wow, it seriously is one of the most legitimate experiences I have ever seen. Now, when I was presented with this, I was like, oh, it's a competition, it's cybersecurity related. And if you're anything like me, the first thought that came to your head was, oh, this is probably like some type of like CTF, a capture the flag. And that's cool and all. And I'm glad that college kids are participating in something like that. That's not at all what CPTC is. So to break down what CPTC is, I'm going to talk a little bit about it, and I'm going to pull in my friend Gaversek here to talk about it as well, because I've known him for a little bit of time now, and I was completely shocked to see him when I went to Ohio for the very first CPTC event that I participated in. So breaking down CPTC.
This past weekend, October 18th through the 20th, marks the start of our 10th season of CPTC, or its full name, the Global Collegiate Penetration Testing Competition. I've talked about CPTC before, but I'm going to recap it for those new here. CPTC, or the Collegiate Penetration Testing Competition, is a cybersecurity competition that we host for college students to test their skills in ethical hacking or penetration testing. We build a company from the ground up, including infrastructure with custom applications and staff including a full security team, which is where I mostly help out. Our fake company hires these students, which are teams from different schools, to conduct a full penetration test of our network. Now, this isn't your typical CTF or capture the flag type competition. We built this competition to be as realistic as possible. We have the students sign things like NDAs or non-disclosure agreements and SOWs, which are statements of work. They interact with us as their client in full character and even use real tools like our ticketing system to do so. The teams spend one day pen testing our environment while we monitor our infrastructure with a full-fledged SOC or Security Operations Center to ensure competition integrity and to make sure the students are pen testing in a fashion that does not disrupt business operations. And that's huge because most CTFs that you learn on, like Hack the Box or Try Hack Me, if you cause irreparable damage to a test machine, you click a button, reset the box, and you go again. Now, that has its purpose, but our goal is to mimic reality and have the students approach this competition not as a CTF event, but as a live pen test engagement, with their final deliverable being a pen test report, which is the majority of their grade. Now, if students mess up and cause damage to the environment, we contact the teams in character as their client and score their interaction with us as an educational opportunity. So not only are students learning highly technical skills, we are also trying to build up their soft skills by teaching them how to interact with clients when they get out into the real world. We at CPTC pride ourselves in this because it's so unique and no other competition that I know of or volunteer for does this. This year, we are being sponsored by Black Hills Information Security, and they have been nothing short of incredible to work with. Our goal at the end of the day is to build up and train the next generation of cybersecurity professionals. So if you're in college and want to know more on how to get involved in competing, please let me know in the comments. If you want to know more about CPTC in general or more details on what I do for CPTC on the monitoring team, let me know as well. As always, keep loving and learning cybersec, and I'll see you in the next one.
As I've basically alluded to this entire time, it is an event geared for college students. And with these college students participating in this competition, it is very much nothing like a CTF. You are actually getting hands-on experience and a real-world scenario. Everything that they're doing within this event is geared to mimic a real-world scenario, which is really freaking cool, right? You don't get that in a real college experience with your textbooks and maybe whatever labs you're doing nowadays. And you definitely don't experience that within a certification unless it's the PMPT, of course, from TCM Security, which that I compare these two because they are so similar and it melts my heart in so many good ways. But anyway, going on with the CPTC event, you have your teams competing, finding these vulnerabilities and whatnot going on throughout the day. And then when you are done with the day, you are tasked to write a report. So you are being scored on not only all the vulnerabilities that you find, you're also being scored on writing the report and explaining what it is that you found in the environment, giving advice on how you can patch these things and etc. Right? It is just insane to see that level of detail go into this event. But not only that, right? Not only are they going through and they're actually trying to get access to this network through vulnerabilities and whatnot and exploits and etc. and writing this report, which again really seals that deal. Throughout the entire day, there are what is called injections that the CPTC volunteers put together so that you have your little volunteer crew who actually goes out and interacts and engages with these different teams and presents different events or different scenarios, or maybe they have to present a presentation about something specific related to what they're doing throughout that day. It really puts a whole different spin on this competition because, again, everything that a student is going through, from going through their rules of engagement and trying to gain access to this network to dealing with a business, because the CPTC volunteers are actually acting as they are the organization that is hiring these students for this penetration test. So you have these engagements and interactions just like a student or, just like a person who is in a pen test role would face in their day-to-day jobs. So when I was really experiencing this, again, I walked into this event like, it's cool. It's like a CTF and it's great. It's so cool to see that. But as the day went on, as I got to learn more about not only the CPTC volunteers and the event itself, but learn about the students, it was so incredibly clear to me how important of an event and an organization that CPTC is. There is nothing that I have ever seen like this in all of the years that I have been involved in IT and cybersecurity. And that could be a fault for me. I'm not sure. I haven't heard of it, but from this event, I got to learn about CCDC, which is very similar to CPTC. However, CCDC, and I'm not going to even look at that acronym, it's a great event. It's more defense focused, so it's more blue team focused. And it's, from what I've heard, fantastic. But the whole thought and the whole, explanation behind all of this is CPTC is probably one of the most organized and well put together events, especially when it comes to these types of competitions and as they relate to and help college students. It is phenomenal. It is literally mind-blowing. And if you follow me on other social media, you've probably seen that I've talked about this quite a few times. I've posted a lot of photos about it. I've been to a couple of their events. Black Hills Information Security is sponsoring this event, all of their different regionals and their finals. So we have all of our team, not all of our team, a lot of our team going to these events and supporting these students. And it is just so incredibly heartwarming to see how this is coming together. And I want more people to know about this. So if you are in school for cybersecurity and you've never heard of this event, take this to your teacher, because they can help be a coach, or they can help find you guys a coach so that you can attend different events like these. Again, this is something that far and wide blows away your college degree. It blows away whatever certifications you are going to get. Simply put, the experience that you get from this 1 to 2 day event blows all of that out of the water. It is phenomenal, I promise you. So if you're looking to get into school for cybersecurity, make sure you present this to your teacher and your other students and peers as well, because this is something that can actually change your life in so many ways. Because the number one thing that every employer is looking for when they are trying to find somebody to fill a role is experience. And what can you do when, well, hey, it's hard to get experience sometimes, right? It's hard to get internships. This event right here, and go to this event and go take the PMPT from TCM Security, those two right there, you'll be unstoppable. Honestly, I mean this from all of my heart. This is truly something that I hope grows and gets bigger and so much more helpful, because that's what I'm all about. And that's what everybody from CPTC is all about. That's what everybody from Black Hills Information Security is about. Helping people find their way into IT, helping you find your way into cybersecurity. All I've done for the past 10 years is help people find their way and do things that are different and stand out and really give you the knowledge that you need to be successful. Nobody, I should be very, very clear on this at this point, because it probably sounds like an advertisement. Nobody's paying me to do this. Nobody asked me to do this. Nobody told me to do this. This is something that needs to be shared across the world, because you need to participate in this. Just honestly, it's amazing. And all of the volunteers from CPTC who make this happen are absolutely amazing. I've got to meet some incredible people from these events, which is just, again, another just amazing experience. And so many students were able to connect with all of these different volunteers from CPTC. And all of the events that I went to, I got to help participate in the different injections or help the CPTC volunteers. I was a desktop for multiple volunteers. I just stood there holding the laptop because, I don't know, they needed help. They needed that. I was there to help. And whatever, as silly as that might have been, that meant the world to me, because I was there to experience this whole entire life-changing competition not only the students, not only myself and all of the different Black Hills employees who actually went to these different events, the volunteers, just everybody. It was incredible. And I've just really just shared all of what I got from in here about this event. And I just wanted everybody to know about it. So I hope this is kind of, it's different for you. I hope you found all the information here that was shared insightful or intriguing, if you will, because I really want you to look into this. It is amazing. I can talk this up all day long. Honestly, I can just ask anybody who lets me talk about it. But you should take some time and look into this yourself. Reach out to other students who have participated in this. Build those connections and relationships. Reach out to the CPTC volunteers and ask them about their experiences and advice that they have for this event. But there is plenty of information that you can find on their website if you want to get your school involved. So again, please take this to your teacher, your instructor, whoever that may be. Take it to your fellow students and get involved in this. It is incredible. So if I were to try and close this video up, I think it's important for me to just clarify again how I have expressed my thoughts and feelings in regards to college and school. I have never gone to college or IT. I dropped out of high school, right? I didn't have an experience that many people did. And throughout the years that I have worked in IT, I have actually met a lot of people like me. But the statement has always been the same from everybody who I've found working in this field. College isn't necessary, but it is so incredibly helpful for you in your journey. And if you want to have, a little bit of an easier journey, college is a great option for you. And if colleges are going to have more events like these, more competitions like CPTC and CCDC, that's a big reason to actually go back and get involved, because that's not something that you're going to see out there in the wild and as represented or as recognized as these events will be. Yeah, capture the flag competitions are great. Hack the box and try hack me and all of that. Those are great. But they aren't CPTC. They aren't that real world. They aren't going to be as impactful as this event is going to be for you. Another really exciting thing that I learned from going to these events was actually how much more students are gaining internships these days. And that may have to do a lot with these students participating in events like CPTC. But I asked this question to every student who went to Ohio. I think I asked it in Tennessee, but I know for sure when I was at Ohio, I was up on their stage and I said, how many of you all out there have internships? Like, raise your hand. And almost every single student there raised their hand. I think that there's maybe like 3 out of the 100 or so students who were there who did not raise their hand. And I was blown away by that. Blown away by that, right? So here's all these college students who have internships and they're competing in this competition, getting real world experience across the board. This is the way to really get involved. So again, if you're just starting out in IT or you're changing careers and trying to figure out what you want to do, college can be a great option for you. But make sure you try to compete in events like CPTC, CCDC, and if you know of others, because I'm sure there are others out there that I haven't quite heard of, please post them in the comments below and let us know what's out there, because I would love to talk about them and share them so that we can get more people involved in this field, learning real world practical knowledge that is actually applicable on the job. I know that was a mouthful, just like collegiate penetration testing competition, but I'm telling you, this is life-changing for you. You have all of the information you need provided in the description, comments, and all of that below. Make sure you reach out to the CPTC crew. They are amazing. Tell them I sent you, because I don't know, maybe they'd like that. I would like that, because I think they're all phenomenal for volunteering their time. So definitely a very special shout out to all of the CPTC volunteers who make this happen. My goal for next year is to actually do more videos, like legitimately. So I know it's been a while, and this has been one of the most exciting things that I've had to talk about, that I could do a video about and share about, because it means something to me. And I hope that one day it means something to you. So thank you for watching. And as always, take it easy.